Carlisle's picks. Lots and lots of tires, and as you can see, lots of knobbies for the off-road guys, but it's not just that. Got some nice tires for the sport bikes. Any recommendations? Whoa, sorry about that. Any recommendations?
Bridgestones and Dunlops.
For someone who's like a real canyon carver, wants some super sticky tires, confidence inspiring, they're going to be leaning, dragging knees. What do you think?
Any Bridgestones. I like the Bridgestones.
You like the Bridgestones?
ones are good, yeah. Everybody, though, has got their own opinion with tires. Some guys say they're going to ride canes, but really they need a high mileage tire. So it just kind of depends on what the guy is really doing.
What's your opinion on this is something that I'm actually going to do a video about. A lot of guys get these like race tires, not literally race tires, but they're designed, they're like track day tires. They're legal for street use, but they're really focused on track use. Now, my concern there is these guys don't realize, because some of these guys, they get these bikes and they're just casually riding. They don't take the time to really be professional and learn about the technicalities of riding, right? So what does that mean? They don't understand that different tires have peak operating temperatures.
Absolutely.
And a tire that's oriented for track is going to have a very high temperature at which it's operating at. So that means, and this is what I don't think they get, even though you may be riding crazy on the highway and you think, oh, I'm doing 150, I'm really heating up these tires. No, you're not. It's really hard to heat up like a race tire on the street. I mean,
if you watch any MotoGP race, there's those tire warmers before the races. There's warm-up laps where they're getting that tire to the right temperature. And even after the first few laps, it still has to,
it cools down.
It has to get hot enough to work properly, but.
Exactly. So
those tires are amazing, but they're not really designed for street, so they don't last long for one. And when you're on a track, you've got, for the most part, a really consistent surface, which is clean. But when you're canyon riding, you're flying around.
Different things.
You've got mountain roads that the conditions are not nearly as nice as a track. So track tires are fun, but you got to be really careful.
Well, here's my concern. I'm thinking, since a majority of the people, probably all, but I'm just going to say majority of people that are riding with these track-oriented tires on the street are not going to approach the optimal temperature. So that means I'm theorizing that a less sport-oriented tire could actually have more traction on the street than a race tire. Because of the fact that that street tire is going to have a lower temperature. It's going to be easier to warm that up and get its maximum traction. Whereas you got this high performance tire, which is operating at, who knows, half of what it's capable of. So in the end, what do you end up with? To me, this track tire might actually be less grippy than the street tire. I don't know. I'm theorizing, but I know.
What do you hate to recommend people using track tires on the street because that's just not the design of them, But yes, of course, people do. They'll get a set that's been on the track for a day or two. It's still got some life, and they're going to go rip through the canyons. And it's a great experience, but a street tire is designed for street use, where you're going to get the right temperature, the right kind of mileage, where it's not a tire that's only designed to last a certain amount of time.
And changing conditions.
You stick your finger in those street tires, and I mean they're just like gum,
and it's not even warm; it's cold.
I mean a street tire's got plenty of. It's the right compound for what you're riding on, and it doesn't have to be heated up properly. It's going to work, it's going to work right from the get-go.
For normal riding, that's what it's designed for.
You're right, and what you're saying is those track tires, they have to be running at a certain temperature. That's how they're tested and developed. So essentially, to me, it's almost like those guys with those track-oriented tires are almost constantly riding with them cold. Not literally, but in a way. I mean, they may be slipping around, and then they go and say, you know what, I hate this tire, it sucks. Not realizing it's not the tire, man. No. You're not using them the way they're designed to be used. You got it, absolutely. That's right.
All right, let's go up front. You got 4-piston brakes, they're Brembo brakes, awesome for long distance riding, also awesome for...
This motorcycle features a Super Quattro L twin cylinder engine.